Welcome back, sisters. We are so happy to have you on. I am joined here today by Miss Sue Finkam. For those of you who joined us for our last episode, we were talking to her as the current mayor of the city of Carmel here in Indiana. And she kind of talked to us about purpose. And so today we're going to actually dive into practical applications that will help women discover their purpose, find their drive to purpose, step into their purpose, all that good stuff. So, Sue, welcome back, and the floor is yours. Let's talk about practical applications to purpose.
Thank you. Thanks for coming back, everybody. I thought as we were talking earlier, several things came to mind when you said path to purpose. And I feel like, what is a path? What is a stepping? What are the stepping stones you have to take? And I think the first thing that come to my mind is like, to me, energy is passion. So what energizes you must be what you're passionate about. I think as women, whatever age they are at in their career and life, can really pay attention to that. I had someone tell me, I posted a picture not too long ago and said, that picture of you is glowing. And I know what it is because I'm with a fifth grader who was just doing something at a city council meeting. And I just love that. I love those interactions. They're like 2 minutes long and it just makes me so happy. And I think those kind of moments we have to catalog if we're really struggling to find what our purpose is. Not even struggling, we're just trying to go on a self-discovery journey. What lights you up? What turns you on and gets you, out of bed and just excited? And, I think I hear women say, I want to do a mid-career change. It's like, well, what were those jobs and opportunities that you just loved? And what do they have in common? Right. So because that's probably your passion. And it also, I think another step on the path, so to speak, is that kind of inventory your strengths and talents, because it's highly likely, but not necessarily identical, that what you're passionate about, you also happen to be very talented in or have a strength or tendency. I enjoy pushing others to the forefront. I like connecting people. Like connecting people makes me happy. Some people think maybe I'm a name dropper, but I just like to know, do you know so and so? Because I think you would feel this person really
Yeah.
in your career. I was doing that with somebody last night. We like connected each other with like 8 people. So, I can't be around someone who's just like me on that guy because we can't. But I
Because you're
think
just connected together.
yeah, finding your strengths and talents and really writing that down and paying attention to that as well, I think is important. I think similarly, what inspires you? Because I think there's some things that we aren't doing or have never done, but that really touch your heart or you find drawn to. I like I like inspirational quotes with, the best of them. And I found that if what there are quotes about finding the best in you and overcoming adversity, like those are the ones that I'm drawn to. And I will say I had two or three put on a bulletin board in my office that I would look at every single day during campaign because it was really hard. And they were either a touch point to keep going through the difficulty of
Mm.
a campaign where there's a lot of negativity, or they're really what I think the next step is, and your path to purpose is like having the end in mind. Like I just kept seeing myself in this chair, and that was my like, this is what it's going to be. I'm going to be in this chair, and when I'm there, I'm going to do this, and when I have this opportunity to serve, I'm going to do it in this way, and that got me through some of the difficulty
Yeah.
and kept me out of my head, right? Where it's maybe negative in a campaign or just hard if you're tired. And so
Yeah.
I think going through a campaign too is like one, or not, going through your career too is, with end in mind is like, I want to lead a group of 50 women or 50 people, or I want to have this type of research project, or I want to be a published author, whatever it might be. Having that end in mind is helpful
Yeah.
um, to getting there.
I'm kind of seeing two different paths, and maybe paths is not the right word, but almost like two buckets, and that's probably not the right word either, but you'll follow me. The first thing I'm hearing you say is how do you discover your purpose?
Yeah.
The second thing I'm hearing you say is how do you drive to your purpose?
I like
And
that, Nadine.
yeah, you kind of separated them because it's like discovering your purpose. You talked about, what gives you passion, like pay attention to your energy. And, it made me think, ooh, I should also pay attention to the things that steal my energy.
For sure.
right? And like,
Yeah.
what are the things I'm definitely not passionate about that I definitely, aren't my giftings?
Yeah.
Cataloging it, self-discovery. You talked about inventory your strengths. Man, I love that. Like that could be something where you literally can sit with a notebook and just write out some strengths and ask some people and inventory your talent, ask what inspires you, what touches your heart. Like that's all like the discovery
Mhm.
phase. And then I heard the drive phase where it's like, know the end in mind, like keep that picture, figure out things that will motivate you that are meaningful, with quotes or whatever it might be along the way, because you will get tired and there will be bumps in the road. Is there anything else you would speak into kind of those two buckets, the discovery or the drive?
One that I was thinking of that actually maybe in both, frankly, not to really mess up your two paths, but maybe they come together at a certain point
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
cross. And that is, I think your path changes over time. Your purpose changes over time. And sometimes it may be a traumatic event that does that. I've been around incredible women who started nonprofits and serve others because of a trauma
Yeah.
or something that they've been around that they just think is an injustice.
Yeah.
But that wasn't their original purpose. They were
Yeah.
going to be an accountant or an astronaut or whatever it was. Um, and so sometimes your purpose may change, and I've seen women struggle with that, where it's like I went to college for XYZ, but I'm not using my career. I'm like, but you're making incredible changes in this world. I think again, maybe God said we're gonna pivot, and so I don't. I think women are incredibly hard on ourselves sometimes when we maybe take a different path than what we thought might be our path.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm hearing you say don't get too attached to a specific thing because maybe your purpose will pivot. I'm glad you called that out because I think that's important. It's not like we have one main purpose in life and that's the only thing we're valuable for. Like our purpose will pivot. We're growing and we're pivoting and that's just being human. But I do have a question for you and I'd be curious how you would speak into this. Let's say you have a purpose and you have a drive. When do you know it's you giving up on it and it is your purpose versus you're actually being redirected and it's not your purpose? I'd be curious what you'd speak into that.
That's a great question. I think you have to go back to that, how you feel inside, right? What's lighting your fire? And if you're like, hey, I pivoted and now I'm just as motivated as I was before, or maybe I didn't have that fire that um what's the Bible song? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine is what I think of, right? If that light's not shining anymore inside, then maybe either you thought what your purpose was before isn't meaningful to you anymore.
Yeah.
Or you found something that just makes it shine a little brighter.
Yeah. It's almost like we have permission to pivot.
Absolutely. And sometimes it's like, do we give ourselves permission? And sometimes, hey, look, economic circumstances
Yeah.
may dictate that. If someone loses a spouse and now the money is not there to make a change, because Maslow's hierarchy of needs, I need to have safe, secure place for my kids or
Yeah.
myself. And this is my purpose right now.
Yeah.
And so self actualization at the top of that Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a long ways away.
Yeah.
But maybe later on, then that shifts or that becomes more clear. So yeah, I think other than circumstances, I think we should give ourselves permission to explore
Yeah.
and to inventory and to dream and uh, to honestly just stretch.
Yeah.
I always set two sets of goals too in my head, and I probably stress myself out a little bit about it. I set a relatively realistic goal, and then I set a real stretch goal.
Mm.
So every campaign I've run, I set what I think I need to win, and then I set what I really want to have. Um, and I've always come just under
The
the
stretch.
stretch, except for the first one because it was just a new campaign. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah. 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 That's
But that's a metric, right? Because there's no other goal than the number of votes cast, right? I mean, very, very, very numeric.
yeah.
But I think and other things too, like whether it's been athletic endeavors or whatever, um, I like to set a couple goals. So
And I feel like I need to highlight that too for women. It's like, don't be afraid to set goals and don't be afraid to set stretch goals that might even be embarrassing to go for because worst case scenario, you're going to shoot higher.
yeah, yeah,
There's something that keeps coming up for me also is that stay at home mom that might
yeah,
be like, I'm just a stay at home mom. And it's like, whoa, 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 whoa,
yeah.
whoa. you are not just a stay-at-home mom. There's so much purpose there. There is so much impact. There's so much
Absolutely.
influence. So I never want women to compare purposes.
Well, isn't it beautiful? Society allows us a choice. And men are hampered by that because society still doesn't always allow them a choice. There's a significant stigma associated with the stay-at-home dad. Oh, he must not be able to cut it in the workforce.
That's such a good point.
So we have a beautiful opportunity to choose and to change. So I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom for a couple years. I'm going to go back to workforce. I'm going to have a second child and stay at home again. Like it's a beautiful thing, and I think we should celebrate that. And I love we just changed our parental leave here. When we put in parental leave here, actually, when I say change, we actually implemented it. And I just think it's a beautiful thing that we're starting to allow uh, societally men to stay at home more as well. I think it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think choices are powerful, and what we choose isn't really anybody else's business, right? It's between
Exactly.
us and God. I mean, that's ultimately. Um, I want to just remind some of the listeners out there. I know, if you're like me, you look at Mayor Finkam and you're like, she is a powerhouse. She is a great communicator. She's an influencer. She's a community leader. And I'm just X. And it's like, where you are is part of your purpose, So we really can't compare anybody else's purpose to ours. We just need to step authentically and fully into ours.
Absolutely. And thank you for the kind words, by the way. But I still think the same thing about I'm just a small town mayor, right? Or I'm just one person in this role. Or I think we all are worst enemies there sometimes about not giving ourselves the credit where credit is due when we do things right. And then just because we want to get better at something doesn't mean it's a negative, right?
Right.
Learning opportunity we should grasp with both hands. And if we have the resources to chase it, then go get it.
That's good. Okay, so I want to ask some questions. I want to kind of like pivot into things, right? So what's coming up for me now is, what are some distractions from our purpose?
Again, we talked about one, right? Just things you can't control.
Yep.
you know, that things are put in your path that may change your purpose or may slow down, your consideration of your purpose or your path. The volatile and uncertain world that we live in is a distraction.
Yeah.
Whether it be political changes, weather changes,
Yeah.
the economy,
Yeah.
inflation, like, those are all distractions that all of us have to deal with. And if you're really searching, for instance, to what your purpose is, and you may be going to a couple nonprofits or something and trying to figure out if the nonprofit world is for you, you may encounter a person who's a distraction who doesn't help maybe you launch
Hmm.
like you want to be launched. And I think we have to always keep that in mind as well, that some people are put in the path to help you and some people are put in the path to challenge you, and recognize that as well.
That's wow, that's a really good point. So things we can't control, certain people that might not be supporters or helpers or maybe distractors. Anything else that you would say might be distractions to our purpose? I'm thinking like busyness in the wrong ways sometimes. And we talked about that on the last
Yeah.
episode. Like
Yeah.
I'm too busy to even think about my purpose.
I'm
Versus,
glad you're recalling that. I think that's an excellent point that you brought up on the last episode, because sometimes we're just so busy in the hamster wheel,
yeah,
we don't really know what we're doing. And in today's world, certainly families are challenged more than ever, between travel, sports, and Bible study, and all the things,
yeah,
school. I always curse the teachers who, when you get a list of school supplies, and then the first day of school, you get another list of school supplies, like those kind of things.
yeah,
But then also in the professional world, as budgets get tighter and tighter with companies, and people get less and less, and those responsibilities don't go away; they just get shifted onto a new role. And so I think where technology has helped us do more, it's also helped us be more frantic in a lot of things that we do.
yeah.
We're now, many of us are still tethered, 24 hours a day to an electronic device, and that's stressful. It's distracting. So, and again, I think we'll just call out the internet and social media as a distraction as well,
Yeah.
because I have a friend who probably spends 4 hours a day just watching reels. I'm like,
Yeah.
what a waste of time.
Yeah.
But it's so easy to fall into something
Yeah.
like that.
And
And
some things are inspiring, right? So it's like there's a balancing act there. So I can't judge it fully, but at the same time, sometimes it sucks. It's like, what just happened to my
Yeah. But all podcasts are good, Nadine. Let's just.
all podcasts are awesome, especially this one. I was also thinking the comparison game. I think that's a distraction from purpose. And that kind of goes back to that social media. 'Cause sometimes you look at everybody's outside and you're comparing your insides to their outsides, and you're like, well, I can't do X like this person. So um, I can't think of anything else. Maybe not taking time to explore it. Maybe like,
I think it goes back to the busyness too.
yeah, like forgetting you have one. Like
Yes.
it's almost like, yeah, my purpose doesn't matter. Like minimizing your purpose.
Yeah, I think that's a family dynamic, I think too. Not just for women, for men and women, right?
Yeah,
I have to do this and this is just what we do. We
yeah,
run we run around like crazy getting kids places and getting to work and helping take care of a sick parent and helping, all the things.
yeah.
And it
Keeping
goes
up.
back to that permission too. Sometimes you'll give me permission to say, this is madness. This isn't strategic, this is tactical.
Yeah,
And how can I be purposeful in what I'm doing with my time?
yeah. Okay, so I want to pivot us now. So I want to just go, why does purpose matter? What would we say to a woman who's like, yeah, what I mean, I'm too busy, or it's just not the right, like, why does it matter for them to discover and step into purpose?
I can only answer that for me. And
Yeah.
I think that if the closer I am to functioning where I think I'm supposed to be, how I'm supposed to serve, the happier I am.
Mm,
And so it's more of a natural state. If I'm doing something that's not close to my purpose, then it feels unnatural and I feel like I'm striving, kind
mm.
of searching. Something's missing. But if I'm closer to what I think my purpose is, it just feels like it fits.
Yeah.
And so I'm happier. And without even, I mean, I expend a lot of energy on my position, but without having to expend energy to find the next thing to do, right?
Yeah.
It's just a fit. It's just natural. It's
Like a
authentic.
contentment.
Yes, that's a great
Right?
word. Great
Yeah.
word.
An authenticity, a joy, a contentment. And I also want to just say, like, everybody has a purpose that only they can fill in this world. Don't hide your purpose because somebody in this world needs it.
I think for people that are close to us, I think sometimes they see it more than we see it too. I had people since I was elected mayor say, "Girl, I always knew you were gonna be mayor." Well, I didn't know that until I ran and won.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
pretty cool.
and so I think perhaps we can sometimes tap into our close network and say, I don't know what my purpose is. You know me. You've been around me. You see me shine. You see me fall.
Yeah.
What do you think my purpose is? Or where do you think I should look at or explore? What are ideas? Because I think for me too, when I said out loud, I want to run for mayor, it was very freeing.
Mm,
And then I could talk and dream out loud. And then I got energy from it. And so I think we keep a lot of dreams and thoughts bottled up for fear of being ridiculed or told you're not good enough or being disappointed by someone who's close to you. And I think we can start without sharing maybe what we're thinking, but at least asking what other people think of our strengths and talents that we talked about earlier, and purpose and passion. And that will help us get closer where we think we might want to be.
it's good. That's great. What's interesting is, so before we got on and we were going to talk about purpose, the last couple of days, I keep envisioning these airplanes, and they're airplanes, and they're like going around the, what do you call it?
The landing strip?
The strip, yep. They're just going round and round and round and round in circles, right? And they don't even realize they have wings. Like they don't even realize they can fly. And they're just like, oh, humming along. I got wheels. I'm just like, and they're just like riding along, but they have so much more that they can do. They haven't even tried anything else. And it's just funny that it like comes full circle now of like, ladies, don't be that airplane that just like roaming around when you have wings to fly and you're being called to something bigger.
One
You
of
know,
the things
like,
that disappoints me most is missed opportunity.
yeah,
I mean, you see it in others. You're like, oh, that person had an opportunity, right? Or missed potential might be a better way to say it. Not
yeah,
missed opportunity. They had an opportunity and they just didn't either give it their all or believe they could do it or have the resources, whatever. Like, that potential is not fulfilled. And I just hate to see that. I just feel like, someone got at that and didn't take it or couldn't take it or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what a great, great episode. Again, thank you so much for your wisdom, your insight, this discussion. Is there anything that you'd want to wrap up this episode for us on practical applications and purpose?
I just want to thank you because you've built an incredible community. And that is your purpose. And you've built an incredible community that every time around you as a person or any of the events that you're a part of, I'm inspired. And I just want to thank you for that and recognize you for that.
Thank you. God is so, so good. And ladies, you have a purpose only you can fill. We want you on purpose and we believe in you. 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 We love you. Step into your calling, explore, discover, and go for it. We are here to support you every step of the way. Thank you again for your time, Sue. This was so encouraging and inspiring.
Thank you.
And we'll catch you next time, sisters. Bye.